Hello. So today I thought I'd do an on the table episode. Not on a table, just cause I have something interesting to talk about. You may be able to see it. I'm going to be talking about MCU tie-in comics. This is a very niche topic, I know. Why did I choose to sit here? Because those are up there, so I thought it fits. I have a few of these, and I can also read a lot of them digitally, but I have a few physically. There's a few others that are scattered around, but these are the main four that I have. I thought I'd just kind of talk about what's kind of in them, whether they're actually worth getting. Some of them yes, some of them no. First, this is the earliest one I have. There's a lot of earlier ones that are out there. They started making tie-in comics back when the first Iron Man came out in 2008, and they've continued to sort of do so to this day, because some of these are modern. They very much slowed down, but they still do it from time to time. But this is one that they made for Avengers Age of Ultron. And what these prelude comics do, because I also have Spider-Man Homecoming, is they basically just recap the character's previous appearances to the point where this is just a story. Well, it's two comics actually. This comes with Avengers issue 1 and 2, which I guess they made for the first Avengers, and Avengers Age of Ultron Prelude, Deceptor's Isle, which was an exclusive digital comic that is now physical. And you'll notice, if you read through the Avengers part, it is just the first Avengers movie. It's exactly the same. There is not really much different. None of the characters really look like themselves. I'm trying to figure out this camera. None of the characters really look like themselves, but it is literally just a retelling of the Battle of New York. So you can get the same story from just watching the first Avengers movie. You do not need to read this. But then we get to the exclusive comic, the Prelude, Deceptor's Isle or whatever, which tells a story about something during the Battle of New York, about these SHIELD agents. Oh no, this is after. It's about these SHIELD agents who experiment on the scepter. Right after the events of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of Avengers 1. And then we see that the scepter's been passed over to Hydra, and it's this whole exclusive story. However, it's like 10 pages long and really is just an extended explanation of the Winter Soldier end credits scene. So is that really worth it? I don't know. But then afterwards we get our other comics, specifically Avengers, the 1963 run, issue 57 and 58, Avengers 1998, issue 21 and 22, and Avengers 2010, issue 12.1. These comics are like semi-related to what's going on, but at the same time, this one has Wolverine in it, so like, whatever. But that's what the Age of Ultron is. The Age of Ultron one is like. And yeah, all of these Prelude comics, and they made some other ones, they all have this little red circle down here. They've stopped doing that now. The last Prelude comic was Black Widow. It released in 2020 when the movie was supposed to come out. I haven't read it. I'm pretty sure it just retells Infinity War and Civil War though. And Endgame. I don't know. I can't remember. As I said, I didn't read it. So that's that one. Is that really worth it? Not really. Maybe for the other Avengers comics, but not really for the MCU part of it. Then we have the Spider-Man Homecoming Prelude, which comes with Spider-Man Homecoming Prelude issue 1 and 2, plus the Amazing Spider-Man issue 2, 46, and the Invincible Iron Man issue 7. Now, the Spider-Man Homecoming one, I actually think this one's a little bit more interesting, because although it's really just retelling the events of Civil War, it kind of tells them from Peter Parker's perspective from before he's in the movie, which is something we don't see in the movie. Yes, a lot of it is just Civil War, and we've seen it before, if you've seen the movie. That also is not Tom Holland, at all. But it's interesting to see, things from his perspective. And we also see, him about the bus thing that Tony Stark sees on YouTube. And then we get to issue 2, which is this whole thing. It's not much, alright? It isn't much, but it's at least its own little thing. Then there's the exclusive comics, Invincible Iron Man issue 8, followed by, the Amazing Spider-Man issue 2. I have read this one, it was fine, it was alright. And then it was 46 from what I remember. Yeah, the Tinkerer, because the Tinkerer and the Vulture are in Homecoming. Wow, crazy. Again, it doesn't really tell its own story, but I guess it's interesting. That's when we get to these two. These are more recent. That one's from, or the started last year and ended this year. And then this one came out this year. This is the second printing, but it came out this year. Released in November 2024. Now, if you don't know anything about the show Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it's a kind of a spin-off of this version of Spider-Man. But it also released in January 2025, so when you read this comic, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's meant to be, it takes place before the show, sure, but I read it when it came out, and I didn't get it. I didn't know what was going on. I think this actually came out in December. It might have got delayed like a month. But still, yeah, I didn't know what was happening in the comic, like, at all. And then I went back to read this issue after the show came out, and it made so much more sense. Is it an exciting story? No. It's quite boring, actually. But it's interesting to see a glimpse into this world. This seems to be their new method of, if they want to introduce a new universe, because this is for the movie The Fantastic Four First Steps, this is a universe we haven't seen before, so they're using these comics to kind of introduce these other universes in the MCU multiverse, because we're not going to see this universe in anything, so they're going to expand it in the comics and also the following seasons. And then this kind of shows the beginning of the Fantastic Four. Yeah. It's interesting. This one's actually really fun. Yes, it's not an exciting story, but all the ads are like themed around the movie. That's really cool. This page is really weird. If we go further in, there's like an ad for the Fantastica. There's the join the Flaming Hearts fan club. It's $2. And then you get to join the Johnny Storm fan club. Are you gonna do it? I hope so. It's a unique way to look into the world of this universe in the MCU. Is it at all, like, interesting? No. It tells their origin story, which you already know because they kind of tell you in the movie. Granted, this came out before the movie, but still. Yeah. I don't really know what to think about it. It's kind of told like they've written a comic in-universe about the Fantastic Four, and then they're using interviews from the Fantastic Four to explain what happened. It's a bit complicated, but that's kind of the idea behind that comic. And it's interesting, and I do hope they do more of these types of, or any comics, because it's always fun having tie-in comics. I like tie-in comics quite a lot. And I get that they don't want to tell a major plot line in this, because then people who only watch the show, which is 99% of people, have no idea what happens. But, you know, I still like it. Like, this little book right here. This might tell a story about the little pencil, sure. But you also get the story in the comic and in an upcoming quick flick. So that's the thing. But, you know, I don't know. I like seeing the same story told through different mediums, but I also like expanding on stories through different mediums, like these ones. Did that make any sense? I don't think that made a lot of sense, but I hope you know what I mean. There are other MCU ones. There's a TVA comic series that kind of is related, but not really. That was okay. It kind of lost the plot after like issue 2, though, because you kind of hoped that it was a story just about the TVA. It's not. And then there's the guidebooks. I actually have one of the guidebooks. Hold on. This is a guidebook about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter, the shows. It says it's all connected. Whatever. But this is an example of, they did a big series of Marvel Cinematic Universe guidebooks. There's more than just there's like the one for basically every movie from like Iron Man to like Civil War or Doctor Strange or something around then is when they stopped. Yeah, these are interesting. It tells you, it has like a full detail thing about the characters in the show, like Deathlock. This is the season 1 part of the book, so Skye, if you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know that's not actually her name. It even has a lot of the earlier characters. We have first mentioned in the Avengers, that's Coulson's ex-wife or wife or whatever. Sif, first appearance in Thor. Then we get to the season 2 part and get Phil Coulson. You get Leo Fitz and Mac. You even get to see like his first comic appearance where he's a white guy. Get Barbara Morse, get her first appearance in the comics as well. Gemma Simmons, Skye. I don't know why they're still calling her Skye. This is season 2. We know that's not her name by now. Yeah, throughout this whole section, they still call her Skye for some reason. There's something else interesting. We get to season 3. Do they finally call her Daisy? Yes, they do. Wow, crazy. And we even get the Darkhold. But yeah, it's interesting to look through and to see all the little things. This is another way. I kind of like these. I don't really see the point of these now that like the MCU wiki exists, and to be fair, the MCU wiki existed even when this came out. So, whatever. But that's just kind of another form of tie-in books / comics they've done. There's also been this book, which is the book from Quantumania, everyone's favourite movie. It's just, you know, it's the book. It's how you would imagine it to be. I don't know. They kind of made the words really big so that it would look bigger than it actually is. It's also kind of funny it credits Scott Lang as the author when if you actually go to like the first page or second page, it says the actual author, Rob Kuttner. But that's another interesting... I like things like this where it's a thing from in the universe and now it's in the real world. It's kind of cool and funky and crazy. But yeah, that's all the MCU tie-in stuff that I have, and that's all the things I have that I can talk about them. So, thanks for watching. Tame your phone, quackers.